Hello, my name is Jeff Grubbs, and I would like to talk with you about an important matter within your company today. This certain thing, if you will, that has been brought to my attention is that there hasn't been a whole lot of diversity training or hiring within this company. I'm quite aware that hiring from a diverse group of people is more than just a DEI response to the pressure from our society or from the political landscape. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are part of the very fabric of what makes our workforces strong and also makes them competitive in the global market. That is certainly not to say qualification, merit, education, and ability should take a back seat. By no means. And DEI shouldn't be solely utilized to level the playing field. It should be used to allow others who may not look, act, or believe exactly the same as some others do to have the same opportunities to achieve their vocational goals in life. So what exactly can we do about being more diverse and being trained better in this? Let's take a look at this training slideshow to help shine a little light on this. So what is diversity? Diversity, it can be defined as acknowledging, understanding, accepting, and valuing differences among people with respect to age, class, race, ethnicity, gender, and disabilities. Diversity training can have a lot of benefits. Diversity in the workplace. It can reduce lawsuits. It can increase marketing, opportunities, recruitment, creativity, and really improve the business's overall image. A diverse workforce is helpful in elevating an organization's performance and competitive edge, creating an accepting environment, and it's imperative, and it has prompted the adoption of diversity management in many companies. Having a sense of belonging and acceptance is what is needed for all employees, regardless of their race, regardless of their status, position, or demographic. Embracing another's uniqueness welcomes and respects the contribution and perspectives of all employees, regardless of their cultural differences. Having an inclusive culture involves honestly adopting diverse principles, practices, and policies. It also involves training others to have a share in the sense of belongingness and uniqueness within the company. One author stated that managing diversity is more than simply acknowledging differences in people. It involves recognizing the value of their differences, combating discrimination, and prompting inclusiveness. So why do we train people? Training about diversity, it can help bring awareness. Diversity training prioritizes the need. It helps people to feel valued and know their worth in the organization. Diversity training brings about employee buy-in, and diversity training limits certain legal liabilities. Diversity acceptance can also bring about the sense of belonging. People, they do feel valued. They know their worth in the organization, and there's a sense of being included that happens more organically. Uniqueness is embraced, and that's something that's celebrated, and it's really celebrated within the group. A positive team environment can be fostered with varying backgrounds and viewpoints. Diversity training is not trying to get someone who doesn't look or act like us to behave in the same way that we do. That would be more like assimilation. It also involves more than just trying to be indifferent towards someone. That doesn't really show that we are embracing them or working alongside them. Sometimes we're trying to get them to conform to our likeness because that makes us feel more comfortable. That is the act of assimilation. Assimilation, what does it do? assimilation defined, it requires you to surrender your traditions and views and change them to what the dominant group says is necessary for you to be accepted. Well, quite frankly, I find that unacceptable. That doesn't feel good either. You want to belong, not just fit in. Why? You just don't want to not be noticed. You want to be embraced. You want to be accepted. And you want to be made to feel like you're one of the team. When people don't feel this way, bad things happen. What happens when people don't feel included at work? There's low morale, there's disengagement, there's reduced productivity, and a really high turnover can happen. So take, for instance, back in 2018, the company Google, most people are familiar with this company. There were over 20,000 Google employees that staged a very large global walkout. So why did they do this? Well, they were protesting the way that Google had mishandled a lot of sexual harassment issues, and they obviously had a lack of inclusivity within the company. And apparently the employees felt unheard and excluded from a lot that was going on within the company. And so they had this huge walkout. And so we can see firsthand here how a lack of inclusion can lead to very bad things. Okay, so let's change gears here for just a minute. What we're focusing now on is inclusion. So I'm going to give you the definition of inclusion. Inclusion is the degree to which an employee perceives that they are an esteemed member of the work group through experiencing treatment that satisfies their need for belonging and uniqueness. It's nice to be included. And if you've ever been excluded, you know how awful that could make you feel, especially if you have to go through that all day at work. It can really put a dampener on your mood, your work performance, and your overall morale can fade. Inclusion diversity can have multiple benefits though. Multiple benefits like a high worker value within the organization, respect for individual differences, a safe and fair environment, education to team members about other cultures, a competitive edge, and increased work productivity. In conclusion, there's a reason why diversity training is so important, and the reason is to show others the importance of being inclusive. Inclusive and diversity training in the workplace creates a better place to work and a more capable workforce, especially in the global market of today. Thanks so much for your time.